It is Southern Idaho's rock station, 103.1 The Edge, Rock Hard Mornings, and Maddox from Messer. Dude, it's been too long. How you doing?
Man, I am doing great. This is early. You got me up so darn early, man. I'm just waking up, so, excuse my sleepy eyes.
See, at this point, they all know it's a lie. They all know that I don't get up any earlier than I have to begin with.
No, really,
So.
this is really early for me.
Oh,
4 o'clock
right.
in the afternoon.
because you're a rock star. I forgot.
No. I'm doing good, man. It's really good to see you. We definitely miss Southern Idaho.
Likewise, we've got to get you guys back up here soon.
Yeah, for sure. But I've been listening to all of Southern Idaho's great music that you're playing and all of your wonderful commercials that you do for your radio station via the app, which stays on in my car here in Texas. So,
and that's no joke. You're not just shooting the. You've texted me before at all hours of the night, and you're like, "Hey, I was just listening to the station. I love this song, and I love you played this song from Messer, and it's so cool that because everybody's we're totally going to stream it, and we love you guys, but they're not actually listening. You actually listen, man."
Yeah, I'm listening because you actually play really good rock music, and believe it or not, here in Dallas, Texas, we don't have a radio station as fantastic as what you and the Lee Family Broadcasting Company has put together for up there. So you guys are very fortunate, but I'm also very fortunate because we have the wonderful internet that I get to listen to Brock Hard anywhere I am.
I appreciate that, man, and I am painfully aware of the lack of a good rock station in Dallas. A little friend it's a mutual friend at this point because he and I shoot back and forth pretty much all the time. Your buddy Keith.
Oh yeah, Kramer.
He was a big radio guy he was a radio guy in Dallas, but guy's done radio everywhere. And
sure.
at any moment, in fact, I have dedicated a couple episodes of Rock News. They do Rock News every morning at 8:35, and every time it has anything to do with the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift saga, he doesn't want to hear one more word about Taylor Swift, and now he hates Travis Kelce because of Taylor Swift. So every time that I'm covering something like that, I'll make sure and dedicate it to Keith on the air, and then send him a copy of it.
Well, I know he appreciates that.
He sure does. Let's talk about Why Me, the single we've been cranking from you guys. And,
sure.
What I love about Messer, there's many things, but every song, you can tell that there's a lot of heart and there's a lot of emotion and a lot of thought that goes into the lyrics. But this one especially, man, it tickles my sensitive place.
Well, thank you. We just try to write songs that are taken from our collective lives and stories. So these are all happening in real time. And this one in particular is really personal to me because, I do often find myself in the morning, after getting out of the shower and the mirror's all foggy and just staring at myself. And I've actually been guilty of writing "Why Me" in the fog,
the mirror fog. Yeah.
And that's kind of where, this thought or this idea was kind of placed. And it's not like oh, poor me or why me kind of a thing. It's more about like, an overcoming of the types of things that the universe or God or whatever you believe in puts on you. And the motto that I really believe in that, it's only put upon you because you are there to handle it. You know what I mean? Because
Sure.
you can. That's why. You know what I mean? It's like, why, we talked about the things like in my band, my band, why is Maddox doing this? Well, it's because I can, you know what I mean? And
Sure.
I can look and choose it. I'm doing all of these things and build resentment and have, all this emotion about it, or I can just accept the fact that maybe I am the best person for that job and therefore, execute it in that regard.
Sure. Not for a second did I ever kind of what you had suggested there, and never was I like, oh, what a song, yeah, self pity, blah blah blah. It's actually the opposite. It's a song that comes from a place of strength, I think.
For sure. Exactly. That's the intention. You know what I mean? It is coming from a place of strength. And, again, just keeping one foot in front of the other. And as Kenny always says, and as, some of you may have watched over the last few months, embrace the suck. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
uh, one thing that is like resonates with me, and I hear this time and time again, is that old story about the fastest way, you know, through the storm is through the storm. It's why, the
Mhm.
buffalo run into the storm and not away from it. So that's really what this is about.
Yeah, he's been busy in our 51st state, uh, his his home territory in Cat. He's had some personal stuff going on, and uh, I know he's been working so hard on the family home. First, I didn't know that he was a mastermind when it came to carpentry. Second, here a couple of weeks ago, I had a chance to visit with Chris Jericho of Fozzy, and I
Oh, wow.
imagine when he gets back, because I just talked to Kenny last week, and I thought he was coming back sometime this week, but maybe it's next week.
Next week.
I imagine when he shows back up and you see him after he's put all of this work and effort into remodeling the house and redoing the floors and clearing the backyard and countless garage sales and things like that, his arms are going to look like Chris Jericho. I mean, he's literally going to be able to kick anybody's ass at any given time.
For sure, he's probably been working harder than he's worked in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. You got to build those muscles, baby.
Yeah. And that's got to be something that, I think about Kenny all the time and going through. That's his family home, where he pretty much grew up most of his whole entire childhood. And,
Mhm.
um, you know, being that he's the only child at this point in his mother's life and have to fold and compartmentalize and put all that stuff together and then bring her back home to Texas is it's got to be just a huge undertaking. So, we always keep him in our thoughts and prayers every chance we get.
Well, and I've got to give that guy props for being perhaps the greatest son on the planet. Just watching what he's done from the beginning where he went up there because his father wasn't well. Sadly, we lost him, and now he's trying to take care of his mom. And his every breath that he's taken over the last several months is him taking care of the family, man. And
Yeah.
I just I knew he was a good dude when I met him. I love that guy, but I mean, it blows me away how much time and effort and strength that he's put into going through, but quite possibly one of the hardest times in his life. And I don't want to, focus the whole interview talking about him, but the dude deserves props. Uh,
Yeah.
he's a badass.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, why aren't you guys out there on the road touring and all this stuff? And a lot of it is because we just needed to, we didn't necessarily want to have to go out there and do it with a fill-in drummer, which we totally were prepared to do, but it just seemed like just give him the latitude to be able to do this. And then I think, he's going to want to get back to music sooner than later. So I'm hoping, that, the next couple of weeks that we're back into some type of a rehearsal of some sort, which I'm really looking forward to.
Oh, I think he's chomping at the bit. And
Yeah,
going to a Messer show without Kenny at this point, I mean, we always talk here at the radio station, those of us who have been around for a while, I hit 21 years in September. At this point, I'm wallpaper. Like it's a different building if I leave. And I think the same can be said for Messer. It's a
sure,
different Messer if Kenny isn't with you on the road. And so
sure. Yeah,
it's very admirable of you guys to just kind of take a step back and say, okay, we're going to do a couple of things here, but we can't hit the road. We can't climb into that tour bus until our dude's back. And
yeah.
so,
And we could actually, I mean, Kenny actually was like, he understands that, this is a business and there's a lot of other moving parts and pieces and there's management teams and record labels and all these people that obviously want us out there making money,
sure.
but this is obviously more important, family, health, mental health, all of these things that are all, we're all kind of dealing with. And we all have different ways of coping, I don't know if I'm breaking this news or not, but I mean, but Derek just had his third grandchild. He went from no grandchildren to
Oh
three
man,
grandkids.
holy crap!
And, you know, what a beautiful and amazing achievement, that is, because the one thing that I've always respected, about Derek is that he's very, very family oriented and has a wonderful family with, beautiful kids who are, successful and have, babies and are doing all the
I
good
was gonna say
American stuff, you know?
clearly ambitious kids he had.
Yeah, well,
Gone from nothing
yeah.
to three. Holy hell, they've been some busy bodies,
Well,
literally.
that's that lead singer energy, I guess. I don't
Right.
call it lead, but for me, I dive myself, head first. I go deep into music and music production and just really just kind of, you know, I really don't even leave this room very often. If I'm not making or working on music for Messer, which I have been a lot,
Mhm.
I'm obviously working on some of my other projects or for some of the other artists that I work with. The one that's the most nearest to me is obviously my work with Operation Rock the Troops,
Mhm.
which is our nonprofit charity. I introduced you to Matt, I believe, back in Idaho, one of those Idaho concerts a
Yeah,
few years or
I think it
so
was
back.
yeah, it was in 2024. I think I had the opportunity to
Yep.
meet him,
Yep.
and
Yeah. So
what a super guy and what a super cause. And that's it's funny because it's almost like you guys who are in the band are running parallel to those of us in radio. Is that we're basically a Ferris wheel away from Carney because we've all got something going on behind the scenes. And what an admirable task that you have going on with him and Operation Rock the Troops, man. I mean, let's talk about that for just a second,
sure.
so folks know kind of what you've been up to while we've all been waiting for new Mestre stuff to come out and waiting for the band to get back together and hit the road. You've been busy with those guys.
Yeah, Operation Rock the Troops is a nonprofit, 501(c)(3) charity that is focused on now our current mission is songwriting, therapy, healing camps with veterans who have already returned from war because thankfully we're not at war and we don't have people to go and perform for like we did previously, which was we would go and perform for the troops.
Sure.
Uh, but there is a TV component, Operation Rock the Troops, Highway Home, which is available on Amazon Prime right now. But we're, hopefully, we're pitching it with Netflix and a few other networks to purchase several other seasons that we already have in the can, like the South
Mhm.
Africa, where we went to South Africa. We have a trip to Vietnam scheduled in February of next year. Uh, and I get the honor of being the overall music producer of the whole entire project, both of the music that we release, but also doing all the sound design for the documentaries, which are basically episodic series that like you would see on Netflix, where we take these veterans, they tell us their story, we help them, by teaching them journaling and teaching them some basic songwriting skills, turn their story into a song. And then I get the honor of coming back to my studio here and then producing the songs. And then the veteran gets to see them come to life as a real, actual. So some are country, some are rock. You know what I mean? They kind of are all over the place in that regard. But the idea is that, you know, if your back hurts, you can take a pain pill or Tylenol, and well, maybe not Tylenol, but you can take a medicine and it
No,
helps
no,
your back. But
don't do that. I think Tylenol. Didn't we just find out it gives you leprosy or something?
yeah,
Like
I'm pretty sure you
take
get
a
Def
Tylenol, lose
Leppard.
a leg.
But by sharing these stories, you know what I mean, they might
Hmm.
have the potential to save some other veteran's life, or sometimes just anybody, because I think anybody can resonate with some of these veteran stories, and you know, they're all over the place from tear jerking to empowering, and it's just such an honor to be tasked with taking those stories and bringing them to life,
When I had a
so.
chance to meet Matthew and I was it Josh, I believe you
Mhm.
guys were
Yeah,
on the road
Josh
with.
Stone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just to hear some of his stories and what he's gone through, much like many of our veterans, man, they have more balls than I will ever have in my entire life, and thank God for them because they, fight for my right to sit here and yap away in a padded room with guys like you. I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for guys like that. But then you through this series, which by the way I know has been it's been in the making for so long, and it was so exciting to see how excited Matthew was when it kind of finally came to fruition, and now it's available and it's out there, and and
Yeah.
like you said, you've got a ton of stuff that isn't released yet, but to find out just a little bit, just like surface level of what's on the other side of these guys who fight for our freedom every day, man, I couldn't do it. And they do it, and they all are, so respectful, and they all just kind of act like, well, it's my calling. It's what I'm supposed to do. I'm here to serve and protect, and that's what I'm going to do. And Josh was just, I mean, and what a badass singer and guitar player too. Holy crap!
Yeah, he is. I get the privilege of playing with him quite often and
Hmm.
working with him on his solo project as a producer, and potentially may even go out on tour playing bass with him in his band. So he gets it. And it's really about conveying those stories, and these are real American stories. These are real people stories. All of Messer's songs are real people's stories. They're not,
Hmm.
you know we don't take ourselves that serious, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
we're playing from the heart. That's, if anything, that's what we got. We've got passion for making music and just sharing our, authentic story the best we can.
it's poetry from the heart, like you said. And I cannot wait to see what happens next with Messer, because I feel like the next move is going to be an explosion of some sort, in a good way. What are your
Hey,
what
I
are your
hope so.
plans when you get everybody back together? What are the plans? I mean, we've got Why Me on the radio right now. I know you've
Uh,
got a couple things in the works, but what happens with Messer when you guys finally get to get together in your studio again? And that the chemistry is only so much when you're meeting on a Zoom call or talking on the phone or something like that. But
sure.
you get your guys together in the studio, writing and rehearsing and stuff like that. What do you foresee as the next thing that Messer brings about?
Well, I mean, outside of having new music coming out, we're going to definitely try to get back out on the road,
Mm-hmm.
We've been renting our tour bus out to other bands, and
Yeah.
she's been out there doing a good job getting other artists to their shows to and from safely. But we're definitely looking forward to getting behind the wheel of Old Gracie. And, we'd love to come back to Idaho. We'd love to come back to anywhere the Midwest will have us.
Mm-hmm.
All those great radio stations from, Iowa to Wisconsin to,
Mm-hmm.
obviously your station. We want to get back out on the road, and hopefully um, next year will be a big year. It's going to be a big year for America. I want to be a part of that. Rock
Mm-hmm.
and roll is a big part of that, and I'm just looking to, you know, do our part.
I'm looking forward to what happens next with Messer, and always great catching up with you, man. Going to play Why Me, and if you're hearing this on the radio, you're hearing it during Rock News. You can catch the Zoom call on Facebook at noon today. Got Rock News at 8:35 and 10:35 every morning, so you got a couple of chances to catch the chat this morning on the air. But then if you missed it, or if you want to see the video where you can see an incredibly bloated Brock who's very excited to have a fixed back again. Holy hell! I am a pathetic mashed potato right now. Uh Story for another
We
day.
got to get you a chiropractor ad up there somewhere. I'm sure there's a chiropractor that needs some radio ads.
Holy hell, you got to get something, that's for sure. But no, a video on Facebook.com/1031 The Edge at noon today. And real quick, drop your socials and all that good stuff.
Oh, well, of course, you can find us at anywhere at Messer Band on the socials. Messer Rocks on the TikToks because we are doing some TikToking, but always and Thank you, Brock, always for supporting us and everybody in your listening vicinity. Wish you guys all the best, and we cannot wait to come see you guys again. So
get your asses back to Idaho, damn it. We miss you.
We're gonna wait till it's not too hot, not too cold, just right.
There you go. Yeah, come play a show in like May. May's about perfect. May or September, but I don't want to wait there. I don't want to wait another year. So yeah, let's make it May. All right.
All right,
Maddox,
boss.
Love you, brother. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. We'll see you soon.
Hell yeah. Later.